Hi everyone, it's Staff Sergeant Dub Rivers, first name Tanisha, and I'm going to be coming to you with two topics today. We have team building and notes, everything that I have right here, and we have time management. Notes, everything that I have here for my little notes. So let's get into the topic. All right, the first topic that we're going to get into is team building. Team building is very important in any aspect in life, whether you're at work, whether you're on an actual team or you're in a classroom setting. This is something that everyone has to deal with. Team building is Team building to me is getting to know one another. In order to get to know someone that you do not know, you first have to do an icebreaker. I know it sounds really corny, everyone does it, but the key to this is to make sure the icebreaker is fun and it's not lame or corny, as you would say. So you have to know your audience, know what will work and what will not work. For instance, we all are in the military. We are not going to do an icebreaker that is inappropriate and can get any of us in trouble. So we want to make sure the icebreaker is fun yet professional. But you also want to make sure your audience is comfortable with everything. Also, following that icebreaker, I would suggest doing introductions, like stating your name. Hi, my name is Staff Sergeant Dove Rivers, first name Tanisha. However, you can call me Sergeant DR. And then going about the rest of your introduction, stating where you're from, you know, how old are you if you choose to? Do you have a family? If so, how big is your family? Is your family small? You know, what hobbies do you like to do? This will spark an interest in others, and if you all have similarities, then that's something you all have something to talk about. A big key to team building is communication. You need to make sure as a team that you all know how to communicate effectively and efficiently. One of the biggest things that I would suggest is learn each other's strengths and their weaknesses. By knowing what someone is very good at and what they're really bad at will help you as a leader as well as a team player. So you would know how to task this person and how to help them. That way we all can become a better team because we are learning each other and helping each other grow. Knowing this about a person will allow you, as the leader of the team or a team player, to know how to maneuver each situation if you understand your teammates' weaknesses as well as their strengths. Also, another big thing when it comes to communication within a team is providing clear and concise instructions. So, you want to make sure when you're providing information to the listener that they can actually receive the information. So, for example, let's say if I was a Spanish speaker and I'm speaking to a person that is not a Spanish speaker and we do not have an interpreter, they would not be able to understand what I'm saying without, some type of hand language or at all, because they can't understand. It's not clear or concise to them because that's not their first language. So this is what I like about IADC. They have interpreters to make sure everyone can come together and they know what's going on. They have that knowledge. So I would say in a team, when you're delivering your message, make sure it's clear and concise. And if someone has questions, don't get frustrated because they don't understand. They're just trying to get a better understanding of what you are trying to convey to them. So in order for you to convey a message that is clear and concise, think of every single thing that a person would ask, whether you may believe it's a stupid question or not, because there could be something that you don't think of to explain or elaborate a little bit better that someone will find. And if anybody that works with me knows that I ask a lot of questions, not because you're explaining it in a bad way, but because I'm looking at it from multiple angles and I'm trying to make sure that I have a clear and concise understanding of what you're trying to say. When it comes to team building, you want to make sure each team member is valued, which means valuing their opinions and ideas. Even if you feel like they may not be the best idea or opinion, at least they're contributing to something. The last thing you want to do is make your team member feel like you're better than them. You're not a valuable asset to the team, or just you don't need them. So you don't want to be that person or be on a team with that person. So just make sure they feel comfortable around you. They feel like they can confide in you. They feel like you know each other. They feel like, hey, if I fall down, I know Sergeant DR got my back because she's strong in this area and I'm weak in this area. So we can come together as a team and get the task done. Which brings me to my last and final point. In order for a team to be built, there must be cohesiveness. That foundation for cohesiveness is trust. You have to be able to trust your partner, your team members, your leader, the person you're following, your group. You have to be able to trust them. Without trust, it will fail. And the characteristics for cohesiveness, as we know, is trust, which is the foundation, conflict, commitment, accountability, and results. 5 things. In order for you to be in this team and to rely on this team, you have to trust them. Another stepping block is conflict. Yes, you will butt heads. Yes, you all will not get along or like ideas that are thrown around to each other. But remember what I said earlier, which was be encouraging to others. You have to make sure, even though it's something you don't agree with, encourage them to think a little bit further or think deeper into the picture or to the end result that you as the leader or team member are trying to come together as a whole. And also another asset of being cohesive is commitment. You want to be committed to the team, committed to helping each other out, pulling each other through when they need assistance, and being there for one another. That is what a team member is, a wingman. For those who are in the Air Force, that is what a wingman is. They are committed to their fellow partner, to helping them resolve and get through issues. Another big thing in the military as a whole is accountability. So, of course, we want to hold our team members accountable for the information that we put up when it comes to, completing a task or contributing to a task. Holding yourself to the highest standard as possible and making sure you and your team are accountable for everything that you all have come up with. And within that accountability, you will show results as a team. And in a whole, you all are going to make yourselves look better. So you have to make sure when you're trying to build an effective team or team building in general that you all must be cohesive. You must be one. So that's why I feel like all the things I've discussed with you all today was getting to know one another, communication, encouraging one another, and being cohesive is very important. Now we're going to talk about time management. Time management is a big thing in the military, civilian world, anywhere. Time management is all right. So, what I want to say when it comes to time management, you want to make sure to start a plan. Okay? That's the number one thing. When it comes to time management, make sure you start a plan. You want to make sure this plan has a realistic outcome. So when you're writing down your plan on your notebook, which I would suggest, getting one of these notebooks or whatever notebook you want to have. Me, I'm a planner, so I like to have planners. I like to plan ahead. I like to plan weekly things. I like to see colors. I love organization. When you're starting your plan, set a realistic goal. Do not set yourself up for failure because at the end you can only blame yourself, no one else. You want to set realistic goals for yourself that you know you can achieve. This will allow you the honest time that you would need to complete the task at hand. When it comes to setting those realistic times, you need to make sure that you prioritize wisely. Distinguish in your head what is hot, what is medium, and what is low threat. For example, so say I have a task from my supervisor and I have a task from someone that's higher ranking than me, but they are not in my direct chain of command. What are you to do? Well, the correct answer is you are to bring that information to your supervisor, letting them know such and such has provided me this task that they would like me to complete by such and such date. Your supervisor will then determine if this takes precedence over their task that they gave you. So setting your time wisely is very important because you do not want to make the own determination that something you are doing that was not provided to you by your supervisor takes precedence over them. You just want to make sure that you are managing your time very wisely and strategically. So here is one of the task lists I was telling you all about that I use. You don't have to use this type of example, but I just wanted to show you for all my visual learners. So what I do is start off on a blank document, and you can label it whatever you want. I like to label it as things to do. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and label as task and outcome. So to get this, all you do is insert a table, do 2x4, whatever you want, and you make sure the spacing is to your liking. You can color coordinate it how you like or whatever you would prefer, but this is just an example. So in the task, you want to put who the task came from, Master Sergeant such and such. You want to include what they are asking, as well as when do they need it by. This will help you when it comes to setting that priority that we discussed earlier. Also, for the outcome, you want to write down everything that happened, all the steps it took to do it. This will be like getting yourself ready for your evaluation. That way you can always refer to this list, and it will make you and your supervisor's life easier. So make sure you're as detailed as possible and really putting the big picture out there. That way it makes everything run smoothly when it's time to write your eval. This is why I feel that everything on my list that I mentioned was important is important, because time management can not only affect you, it can affect everyone above you who's giving you this task. So you want to make sure you are always prioritizing wisely, whether it's hot, medium, or low, giving yourself enough time to complete that task, organizing yourself by creating a task list, executing the task at hand.